Our beloved 8% Hard AF Seltzer is now live in over 1,200 locations across the United States. We're now available in Florida, Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee, North Carolina, Ohio, and Texas. Go to hardafseltzer.com today, click on the store locator, enter your city or zip, and find the nearest location closest to you.
Welcome to Drinking Bros, presented by GhostBed.com.
Yeah, welcome to the NFL Pick'em Show. I've been garbage, all right? I've been garbage. I've been trash. I'm a trash human being. Still, though, I'll be on MYBOOKIE.com using promo code Drinkin Bros to double my first deposits. For this weekend's games, I lost all of them, Dan.
Yeah.
Every single one of them.
I think Vegas probably did pretty well.
Sure did.
The last week or so.
Sure did. Every year, obviously, we do our way too early prediction show to start the year in August. I believe none of us had the Lions against the Buccaneers in the second round of the playoffs. So that's fun. Detroit gets a second home game, which is unbelievable.
Which they don't deserve.
No, they're frauds.
The fans, I don't mean the team, I mean the fans in Detroit are fucking garbage people. To boo Matt Stafford after all he's done for that franchise and what he went through for you guys, you're a bunch of fucking pieces of shit.
Yeah.
They made his daughters cry.
Did they?
Yeah.
Were his daughters there?
Yeah.
How old are his kids?
They're little kids. They're like, I think the oldest one might be like 7.
What about the Dubs? Do we know anything about them?
Well, the Doves cried.
I think all the Doves were eaten in Detroit years ago.
Fair enough, yeah. Once RoboCop took over?
Yeah.
But that was really disappointing, to be honest. Like, he played 18 months with a broken fucking back for them.
Yeah.
And owns all of their franchise records. He showed up every fucking week for those guys for, 12 years or some shit?
Yeah.
And they're like, boo, you're on another team now. Like,
we
fuck
traded
you.
Boo. Boo. We traded you. We got a bunch of draft picks and Jared Goff. Boo.
Just pathetic. I've been aware of in the chat is asking what time the Cowboys play this weekend. Does anybody know?
Probably. Man, how is Herschel Walker? Is Herschel down there? Wasn't he a Cowboy as well?
And Dak are playing catch right now.
All right. Somewhere down in Georgia, probably. Yeah, the Cowboys weren't anywhere near this, nor are they every single year after the first round. We don't need to spend a lot of time on it, to be honest with you, because this is exactly what we said the entire year, and that was the scripted part of this program. That was our exact prediction during the NFL prediction show in August.
I mean, we didn't script it. I'm just reading the tea leaves, you know? Are the Cowboys a loser organization? Yes. Okay, I expect them to lose.
Yeah.
And the same thing for this week, too, with the Ravens.
Oh, boy. You think they're going to lose to the Texans?
Yes.
Okay. We'll get to it. Top story, though, of the day in the NFL. The owner of the Colts,
I'm
Jim
sorry,
Irsay,
that's not the top story.
It sure is, dude.
The top story is that Harbaugh went to Atlanta to interview for that head coaching position.
That's
the
fake
top
news.
Story.
Fake news.
That's
fake
the top
news.
story. And it's, man, I got to tell you, I'm manifesting it.
No. Never happened.
I've got a fucking vision board. And I'm doing
crystals.
like I clipped off a lock of Ty Pennington's hair that I'm wearing on the locket around my neck right now. Like I'm vibrating at such a high level that Harbaugh's going to Atlanta, dude.
He's not going to Atlanta. This is all fake news. This is simply to lure Belichick in there, to lower that number. That's it.
Harbaugh's going everywhere he goes.
They don't give a shit about how much they're going to end up paying Belichick. Give him $50 million a year. Atlanta's not poor. Like the coach's salary doesn't count towards the fucking salary cap. Who gives a shit?
Atlanta doesn't really splurge on a big name coach like that.
For everybody would pay for Belichick.
I agree, and I hope we do too, because Belichick interviewed first. Harbaugh interviewed second, and then they're looking at some other candidates. I heard Bieniemy is going to go down there, and some other
Bieniemy,
people.
Vrabel, one of those guys is going to get the job.
Give me 3 out of those 4, and I'll be happy with any of them.
I don't know why you don't like. I mean, he's a nerd, but Harbaugh's a good coach.
He's a fucking goofball. Like, he's just a dork. I hate losers. I hate people who look like losers.
Well, he just won the national title, so he's not a loser.
How did he win it though?
He also took fucking Colin Kaepernick to the Super Bowl.
That thing will be vacated in an hour.
Who cares?
Yeah, but they still won it.
They won.
I guess.
Hey, dude, Belichick won like half of his Super Bowls cheating.
Yeah, Deflategate. And then one, I think Spygate was the other one. Then he raped somebody, I think. Well, that's not true.
Whoa.
That's not true. That was Ben Roethlisberger. Sorry.
No, yeah, if in all honesty, like who I'm actually rooting for, and I hope it kind of happens because I'd like to see him in the offense. My dream, personally, really isn't Belichick. It's, I think, Bieniemy with Justin Fields down there, chucking it around just to see what would happen for a couple years. Because let's face it, it's the Falcons. We've never won anyways. Why not go young and then figure out if he truly was the guy he was in KC, and that can transfer over to Atlanta?
I don't know.
Let's just try it out.
I just don't think there's any correlation between being a very good coordinator and being a very good head coach. I think it's two very different skill sets.
Maybe, but they need something down there. Like, we've never won. Who cares?
How many? Yeah, fair enough. I mean, if you take a flyer on it, I guess.
Yeah.
But in any given year, take a flyer on it. But when Vrabel and Harbaugh and Belichick are all available, you get one of them.
Vrabel would be great.
You get one of them.
Vrabel obviously would be my dream out of those guys. But if you're looking for a dark horse, it's Bieniemy. Vrabel though would be amazing. Down there.
I would love to have Vrabel as a head coach and Bieniemy as my fucking OC.
Be great,
to be honest, but that's not going to happen.
No,
he's not going to. Well, maybe. Who knows?
Well, who knows? You never know. But either way, there is so many jobs open. When you look at this market here, because we're going to go to the games this week, just looking across the board here, what's left at this point? I mean, they're not going to fire the Buccaneers head coach. Lions head coach isn't going anywhere. Chiefs head coach isn't going anywhere. Potentially the Bills, maybe, I guess.
No, they got
somebody
saved.
waiting for that job.
Winning that first round game.
You think so?
Decisively for the Bills, saved his job for at least another year.
Okay. Harbaugh's not going anywhere for the Ravens. Texans have an excellent young head coach.
D'Amico Ryan's is a great coach. He's going to win Coach of the Year for sure. It'll either be him or Shanahan, right? It'll be one of the two.
You're right. It'll be D'Amico Ryan's.
You would think so.
It has to be.
Because I don't know if they take. To be honest, it could be Bulls if they take postseason into it. I don't know if they do that for the Coach of the Year, right?
They don't, but it doesn't matter anyways. The Texans went, I think, 1-15, and now they're in the playoffs. So he's to me, that's a shoe in there. Packers head coach LaFleur, he's great. He's not going anywhere. And then obviously Shanahan's not going anywhere with the 49ers. So I would imagine this week one of the big names falls, and we start to get some clarity on what's going to happen in the
You would think
NFL
so, right? Because
coaching carousel.
There's a lot of work to be done between now and the draft.
Yep.
And shit like that, like just fucking deals and such.
And it's coming up quick, man.
It is, yeah.
It's coming up really fucking
less
quick.
than a month.
Yeah.
We're 3 weeks away from the end of the season right now. And then there's another, I think isn't it the Friday or Thursday after the Super Bowl is when free agency starts?
Yep.
I think.
Yeah.
So we're getting fucking close.
We're getting close. And again, top story, not Jim Harbaugh here.
It's Jim Harbaugh going to the Atlanta Falcons.
No.
He's going to either draft J.J. McCarthy or trade for Russell Wilson.
Fake news.
That's happening.
Fake news. Jim Irsay, it turns out that he overdosed in December, which is awesome. How old is he? And like overdosing in your 70s or 80s, I kind of love.
He's 64.
Yeah,
That's it? He's only 64?
Put a lot of miles on that body.
Yeah, he doesn't look great, to be honest.
Whoa, dude. I thought he was 70s or 80s.
Yeah.
Don't show that other young picture of him.
Did they say it was an overdose?
Now.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
It was. They gave him Narcan, so definitely it was.
Yeah, that's
opiates.
the picture right there. So this is the picture. This is the Jim Irsay I know.
So Jim Irsay does cocaine. He didn't overdose on heroin. They gave him Narcan, but he probably just got a fucking spiked bag full of fucking fentanyl. Is what happened here.
You think so?
If I had to guess, yeah.
Yeesh.
He's a cocaine guy. He got busted with cocaine like fucking 7 years ago.
He's a Nepo, baby.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Who's his daddy?
Robert Irsay, who was a piece of shit.
Well, they're all.
Yeah, but what did he do?
Who, Robert?
Yeah, Bobby Irsay.
He went to, I believe he went against his family business and started a competitive company and drove his family out of business.
He also snuck the Colts out of Baltimore.
He did.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, yeah.
Very, very disliked. I think I'm going to do that here. I'm going to take Delco. We're going to start a parallel podcast.
Oh yeah,
just to fuck with you guys.
To this day,
Super
people in
weird.
Baltimore hate that moving company.
Oh boy, that move from Cleveland to Baltimore too. Like that was one of the worst. I remember that all the death threats. Cleveland fans were going to kill everyone, rightfully so. that guy's a piece of shit as well. But last week's games here, you know the rules, kids, on MyBookie.com. We'll go through the wins and losses. We'll cut to the chase. I lost them all. I lost every single one of them. Start with Browns-Texans. Browns -2. I believed in the Browns defense here, and Flacco was looking pretty good. Threw 3 touchdowns in this one. 2 went to the Texans, though.
Yeah.
2 went to the Texans.
I think you, if Nick Chubb is on this Browns team, it's obviously a different game.
Yeah, if they were chubbed up, he'd be fine.
I think they might win that game, but shoulda, coulda, woulda, right? Who cares?
C.J. Stroud becomes the youngest quarterback ever to win a playoff game. So congratulations. His unbelievable year continues. I love watching this team, so it's a blast, and I'm happy they're moving on. Fuck the Browns. The Browns are the Browns. You knew something was going to happen here. I just wish it didn't cost my wallet. Now, the Chiefs game, yes, I picked the Chiefs. However, I had 12.5 on the Dolphins, and Jesus fucking Christ, man, they could not put it together.
Yeah, I mean, we knew that the Dolphins weren't going to win this game because.
But I thought it was a 1-score game.
Maybe, yeah.
I did.
So Tua's the 6 coldest games of his career. He's 0-6. So we knew that they were.
I knew they were going to lose.
I didn't think it was going to be by 19 points, though.
No,
to be honest. I mean, that's a bit much. And so not all of that was on the Dolphins either. Big concern with Kansas City's ability to get the ball into receivers' hands that aren't Travis Kelce, right? So Rice stepping up in that game, that's a big momentum shift for them into this week, too.
It is. And if he can continue this hot play, dude, the Chiefs could ride him to the Super Bowl. I mean, that's all Mahomes needed was one guy.
One guy that can fucking catch the ball, to be honest. And their defense looked fucking great. Now, a lot of that is the Dolphins being soft, Tua not being able to perform in cold weather and shit. But in general, they got to the quarterback really nicely. They boxed in really nicely. They made tackles in cold weather. One of the concerns that Delco had was when in those super cold games, dudes don't want to fucking tackle.
Right.
Especially safeties and strong safeties tackling fucking big-ass running backs downfield and shit, right? Or trying to tackle Travis Kelce. So that wasn't that much of a problem. But, yeah, they performed really well. I think the Chiefs are on track. They did this week what the Eagles tried to do the last week of the season, regular season, which is like, let's find a way to win, like get our game plan in the same way. You remember when Steve Kerr did the death lineup, brought Iguodala in and bumped Draymond up to the 5, and they just started crushing people. This might be that move for the Chiefs through these playoffs. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll find out next weekend because we got a big one up there in Buffalo. But Rashee Rice, to go back to him one more time,
he had a great year.
But catching those balls in cold weather like that and his movement will translate well to Buffalo because it's not getting any warmer up there.
And he's not a huge guy either. I mean, he plays big, he plays long, but he's 6'1", 204. He's not like fucking Megatron 6'5", 240 or some shit like that.
Right.
But still, he had 940 yards this season.
Not bad.
It's like not bad, pretty under the radar, 80 receptions.
It was kind of late in the year that he really kicked into gear there, but we'll see what happens if this carries over. Packers-Cowboys, absolute embarrassment there, 48-32. Nothing really more that you can say other than I guess you got to get rid of that coach.
Yeah, McCarthy's got to go, so that's another open position, I guess. The Cowboys, the fucking Falcons, and the Chargers, those are fucking prime spots because all three of those teams are either contenders or very close to being contenders, right? As is, without any other additions. So new personnel plus a new coach, those are very attractive. I don't know, what are your thoughts on this? Is this more that the Packers are a really good football team or that the Cowboys just choke no matter what happens in the first round of the playoffs?
So I've been paying a lot of attention to the Packers since Thanksgiving in particular. I like Jordan Love, and I told everybody to give him some time and all that other stuff, and we'll see what happens. And then, to me,
everybody's saying that, by the way. All the fucking ESPN announcers are having to eat crow, but like, all right, that GM did the right thing.
Right.
We have to admit that now, right?
And is it so bad to wait a couple years behind a veteran quarterback and fucking learn? Probably not. But to me, because I lost a lot of money on that Thanksgiving game, when he torched the Lions, because he did the same exact thing against the Lions on Thanksgiving. When he torched the fucking Lions, I was like, oh, shit, you could see the confidence in that kid's eyes. And Aaron Jones is back healthy now, which he wasn't the first part of the season, and he's running his fucking ass off. He had 3 touchdowns in this game, 118 yards. So with the combination of those and some receivers who've been there before, Romeo Doubs had a great game. He was on my fantasy as my flex position this year. But a big part of this, too, is Dak Prescott throwing 2 picks and choking. But I think the Packers are real. And
with the fucking Cowboys defense, you think Dak has an off night, he throws a pick or 2, that defense will be able to pick you up.
Invisible.
They did the exact same thing. And look, Aaron Jones being healthy was a big part of this because we've mentioned this multiple times on the show before, but when teams run the ball down Michael Parsons' throat, it's not like he can't make the tackle. He'll have a high solo tackle count for the game, but it takes him out of the pass rush, which is where he's really dangerous. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's worked every time they tried it so far. Any team. It's been done 6 times. The Cowboys have lost all 6 of those games this year. Now.
Yeah, so it's going to be at least entertaining against the 49ers because he can chuck the ball around like a old school traditional quarterback that we like to see. Because Jordan Love can fucking chuck it, man. So at least it makes that game fun on Sunday. Rams versus Lions. Lions snuck out of there with the win. I don't know what's going to happen this weekend.
That holding call on Hutchinson was bullshit, I think. They're parallel. He's driving him into the ground. That's fucking nonsense. But,
it still would have given, but I want to say this to Lions fans, it still would have given them the ball back with right around 4 minutes left, and they could have scored 2. It's not like the Rams defense was that great.
No,
in this game
it
either.
wasn't. It wasn't. And McVay made bad clock
terrible
decisions anyway. So it likely it would have ended this way anyways or something similar. So I'm not saying the Rams would have won. I just I hate when shit like that happens.
Same.
It fucking sucks.
Same. Bills Steelers though up next. Bills are on a roll. Man, I told you guys this on air. I sprinkled them at 18-1 a few weeks ago to go to the Super Bowl here. Josh Allen looks good, man. This is going to be a big call.
He looked good against T.J. Wattless Pittsburgh Steeler team.
I know, but
I don't want to hear it.
It was nasty weather up
Although
there.
he is one of the very few quarterbacks who, over the course of his entire career, actually have performed way better in the postseason than in the regular season.
Is there a hotter team than the Bills right now? I think they won 5, 6 in a row here at this point.
Well, the Buccaneers.
Oh, God, I can't do that. I can't fucking do that, bro. Next up was the Eagles. Another head coaching job that's going to be open. So maybe that's it, right? Cowboys will probably be open. Eagles will probably be open.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking Vrabel's going to go to Philly because that makes the most sense.
It's a good fit.
Me. Yeah, personality-wise, that makes
Defense,
the most sense.
yeah.
But you gotta. You also have to take into account you need a guy that's going to come in and fucking mentor Jalen Hurts because he's got all the skill in the world, in my opinion. Just he's still pretty far away from being a dominant quarterback.
Delco, what is your honest thoughts here? Because I know this is your team. What is your honest thoughts on this team?
What happened?
What happened was
like from a fan perspective, because I'll look at an Ohio State game differently or a Falcons game differently. From a fan perspective, what happened in this game for real that you were as a fan pissed off about?
I mean, the whole team just hated our coaching staff at a certain point.
That's what it looked like. It looked like they just quit.
Yeah, they quit a couple weeks ago. Patricia got named defensive coordinator when we were still winning, and then that was probably the worst move of the season.
Who did that and why?
I guess because just Desai and everything, they just didn't like how the defense was going against the Dolphins and the Chiefs. I don't know. We still won those games.
Yeah, it just doesn't make a lot of sense there. But it's strange because it's such a loaded team. That, any coach that would walk in there, like Vrabel, for example. Vrabel could turn that defense around overnight.
Our offensive line's also very old. Like Kelsey's retired.
Yeah, Kelsey's leaving now. So
Kelsey's out of there, which is fine. I mean, look, the guy, if you watch the documentary on Amazon, he's in so much fucking pain every goddamn day.
I don't blame him, but it does leave a generational talent gap in their offensive line in the very middle of it, right?
Also, our entire O-line's pretty old. Like Lane Johnson's not the same player he used to be when he was all gassed to the gills with all those steroids he took.
Yeah,
allegedly.
No, I mean, he got popped twice. So if he gets popped again, I don't think he's allowed to.
Oh, he's out of the NFL. Yeah. Can I give you a conspiracy about Jason Kelsey?
What's that?
I think in the offseason, His brother will talk him into going to the Chiefs so they can do their fucking podcast together, remain number one in the world on that. Homeboy will get engaged to Taylor Swift, and they will maximize that fucking Kelsey dollar to the. If you got $20 million for a Pfizer commercial, and let's face it, Jason, in my opinion, has got a way better personality. Like, you watch that documentary, he's the fucking dude.
No,
like,
I don't see it. Jason's retired. He's gonna just chill in Delco. He's got a house. He's fine.
in Delco,
He has a house in Delco. Yeah.
he's gonna get the fuck out of there, dude. I think he goes to
No, he's
KC. One more ride, one more Super Bowl. He's still the very best in the league in his position.
I think we should all buy dirt bikes and just drive like wheelies by his house every day, 24 hours a day.
I'm gonna get drunk and throw empty beer bottles at his chain link fence in his front yard.
I would love to see it. I'm about the storylines and the pageantry and the magic of all of it. You put the two Kelsey brothers for one more ring. Just give me one more fucking ring, dude. And then they can do their podcast together, the wives, and Taylor Swift can finally sit in a suite where she actually enjoys one person in there.
He's still gonna do it without like having his body beat up. He's just gonna retire and do his podcast.
Well, I'm sure he'll be at the game on Sunday, which we'll get to. In the meantime, we do have some sponsors that put this shit wagon on the air. First and foremost, MyBookie.com. Promo code Drinkin' Bros doubles that first deposit up to $1,000. No, MyBookie, I'm not mad at you. I'm mad at me. I've been awful. Now, if you're a longtime listener of the show, because I'm getting lit up on a daily basis in Drinkin' Bros Sports on Facebook, rightfully so, just bet against me. Just bet against me this week. I lost every game this weekend. I'm awful. I've been awful for the last 10 weeks. Bet against me. Maybe this is the show right now. Maybe you're waiting for my picks so you can make yours and bet against me. The problem is, no matter who I pick, some asshole in Drinkin' Bros Sports comes up to me and says, please, bet against my team because they're going to win this week. Fuck off. Nobody had the Buccaneers winning, going to the second round, all that other shit, everything else. Yeah, I'm going to bet against Baker this week, okay? So go ahead and do that, Buccaneers fans. Bet all your fucking money. Let him bake, let Baker bake, or whatever the fuck you guys are saying. And I'm going Lions, but we'll get there when we get there. I'm not mad at you, my bookie. I love you. You just might see, 48 different emails, kind of juicing up the codes again. Go to mybookie.com and that promo code Drinkin' Bros. Double that first deposit up to $1,000. Next up, we got Lucy.co/Drinkin' Bros over there. Whether you use nicotine to focus better, get a boost in energy, or to chill or relax, Lucy is made for your nicotine routine. If you want to try Lucy's tobacco-free breakers, pouches, or gum, go to lucy.co/Drinkin' Bros. Use that promo code Drinkin' Bros to get 20% off your first order. Lucy offers a free shipping over there and has a 30-day refund policy if you change your mind. That's Lucy, LUCY.co. Use code Drinkin' Bros to get 20% off. And as always, free shipping. And obviously, here comes the fine print. Lucy products are only for adults of legal age. And every order is age verified. Warning, this product does contain nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. Now, how do you use it? Well, you just pop one in your mouth. Again, dude, whatever kind you want over there. It's 100% pure tobacco-free nicotine. If you want the pouches, great. They got the breakers, awesome. They got the gum, you're great. Lucy pouches are also available in 5 strengths, 2 to 12 milligrams, 12 different flavors. Cinnamon, mint, mango, wintergreen, pomegranate, apple, ice, and espresso over there. And they've got great flavor. Pop some in your mouth to get the day started there. A lot of focus, a lot of zip. Jessie, my wife, actually took all the shit and uses that on a daily basis. So hit her up on Ross Patterson Revolution and ask her how much she loves Lucy. Big fan. It's always gone from the office over here. Again, free shipping over there at Lucy. 30-day money-back guarantee. LUCY.co. Promo code Drinkin' Bros to get 20% off and free shipping. Lucy.co/Drinkin' Bros. Promo code Drinkin' Bros for 20% off. Last but not least, we got bioproteintech.com, baby. Promo code Drinkin' Bros. Going to get you $30 off that first order. D'Anthony, you and I have been using this for, I don't know, roughly 3 or 4 months now. It comes in a little vial. Nice little HGH booster, dude. How's your sleep been?
I took one last night. It was great. Yeah.
Yeah. I saw you yawning earlier, dude. You want to go back to bed, don't
I
you?
always want to go to bed. It's wintertime. It's hibernation
It
time.
is. The Bears got to hibernate.
Yeah.
Guys, so if you're over 30, dude, you're going to want to take this HGH, human growth hormone. That's the hormone responsible for workouts, recovery, performance, metabolism, even sex drive. And that starts to decline, sometimes by 50% at age 35. I'm not looking forward to that in 2 years, okay? Doesn't matter who you are, how hard you train, or how good you eat. It's happening to all of us. That's where BioPro Plus comes in here. BioPro Plus is a one-of-its-kind, non-synthetic alternative to prescription HGH hormone treatments. Beauty of this, there's no needles, no side effects or doctor visits. Also, it's super fast and easy to use and 100% safe. Trusted by physicians since 2009. Guys who use BioPro Plus have experienced faster workout recovery, enhanced performance, metabolism, sexual function, and even better mood and energy. So, if you want to look, perform, and feel the way you used to, without all the risk of big pharma and that synthetic bullshit, head on over to bioproteintech.com to learn more, or click the link in our bio and use the code DRINKINBROS for $30 off your first order. We love it. We're big fans of it. And I'm going to continue to use it, man. So far, so good. My skin's been great, too, by the way. All right, kids, let's get to this week's picks, shall we? Texans versus Ravens first up on Saturday. Great fucking game, dude. Great slate last weekend. Great slate this weekend. Looking forward to it. This is Baltimore minus, oh, boy. Sorry, I just clutched my pearls. -9?
Yeah.
9?
Yeah, I mean, look, I want to give them the benefit of the doubt to some degree because they played well over the last, half of the season or so. But if somebody shows you a playoff trend, pay attention to it. And Lamar Jackson can't win in the playoffs. Until he shows me he can, I'll take that +9 for Texans.
Yeah. Yep.
At a minimum, I may bet Texans money line too. It depends on how I'm feeling.
Ooh, look at you. Starting off hard. All right. Look, C.J. Stroud, he's great in cold weather. It's going to be 28 there. He's used to it in Columbus. Nico Collins out of Michigan's used to it up there. It's not going to affect these guys. They don't really give a shit. Matter of fact, C.J. Stroud played better in cold weather. So I'm in on this. I know the Ravens have been great this year. They're 13-4. They beat everybody they were fucking supposed to. I think this helps. And the last time the Ravens had a layoff, dude, they looked slow in the first half, and the first half is what got them. Do I think Baltimore ultimately wins this by 3 to 7 points? Yes, but the 9 is a little too big for me. Therefore, I'm going to take Texans -9 here.
+9.
+9.
Yeah.
And then this over-under of 43.5, I also like. The dirtbag in me, because there's only 4 games this weekend, it's going to tease up both of these things on the same fucking card. And I'll tease down the over and then tease up the Texans there just because I love it. I love these games. We're finally here in the playoffs. And again, great matchups this weekend. I ain't going nowhere, boss. I ain't going nowhere. Next up, we get the Packers at the 49ers over there. That's the night game on Saturday. Big boy spread again. It's another Bueller. 9 times for Bueller. San Fran -9 in this game. Over-under is high at 50.5. Who you got here, Anthony?
Packers +9. And that's too many points.
Yeah.
Very competitive teams.
Yes.
This should be a really good game.
Yeah. The one interesting thing, though, I will be looking out for is how hard Chase Young plays. It's been a while. He was used to excellence at Ohio State, always going to the playoffs and all that other shit. He hasn't been there. I think the combination of those guys, they're going to be fucking amped up for this. Beautiful weather. It's 62 degrees. So if you're looking at that over-under, fine. 9 is so fucking high.
Yeah, it's a lot. The 49ers do have quite a bit more depth than the Packers at pretty much every skill position, including their front seven. They've got depth. So, maybe the Packers keep it close in the first half, first 3 quarters, but eventually it's going to rock. I just think 9 is a lot.
9 is a lot here. I mean, look, do you go with it? You double dip that day and drive both of these up to +16?
Maybe, yeah. I don't think it's necessary for the Texans Ravens, but if you're going to do a parlay with 2, or if you're going to do a teaser parlay, you may as well. Why not?
By the way,
that would be a separate bet for me, though.
It also wouldn't surprise me if San Fran ended up blowing them out. But and if you're a Packers fan, by the way, and you do get blown out on Saturday, nothing to feel bad about. I mean, you got a great quarterback there. He still doesn't have a top name wide receiver there or a top name tight end. They're just getting started there in Green Bay. I love LaFleur. I honestly think he probably got trapped underneath the Rodgers bullshit, and he was just as amped to get out of that as the rest of the organization.
Yeah.
But the future is bright in Green Bay, and even if this is a fucking 44-10 blowout or something like that, because the Niners will come out hyped up, I don't think there's anything to feel bad about in this one. You feel bad if you're a Cowboys fan about that, because there's no fucking way you should get blown out like that. If this happens, which I kind of think it will, check back in with me here, because part of me might tease both of these down to -2 as well. But 9 is very high right now. But if that happens and you guys get blown out, who fucking cares? You overachieved this year. Congratulations to Jordan Love. Sunday's game. Boy, not enough respect on Baker Mayfield or this game.
Well,
there's an epidemic of that going around this studio.
Yeah, well, there's some female reporter was asking Todd Bowles if they were concerned about playing in the conditions up there.
Uh-huh.
It's a dome, bitch.
Sure is.
Now that you should know.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's because she's a woman, but
well, I am. I'll say it. By the way, the signed Baker Mayfield jersey is late due to the weather, but it will be here tomorrow. So, yes, I will be wearing that. Whenever it comes in, if I have to wear it on fake news or whatever, I'll do it. Just know that it is en route to my house. I have ordered it, and it will be there tomorrow before 4 p.m. Buccaneers at Lions, Detroit -6.5. Who you got?
Yeah, man. The Lions should be able to pull that off. I think they're quite a bit better than the Buccaneers. I mean, look, if the Bucs had a fully healthy squad, like their entire offensive line, one of the best centers in the history of fucking football, has been out for 2 years almost now.
Yeah.
And an actual quarterback. Not that Baker's not he is I don't want to hear it. He is a competent, probably in a lot of ways above average NFL quarterback, right? Because it's just hard to be a good NFL quarterback. Mason Rudolph had 2 touchdown passes against the Bills in the first round of the playoffs. So you think about him and his skill set and how bad he is. That's how far it is between good, like really competent quarterback in the NFL and just some turd who gets lucky from time to time, which is what Mason Rudolph is.
Right.
Baker's obviously on that next level up there, but I think the Lions just have so many weapons, it's going to be hard to beat them.
So my buddy last year who told us the Falcons were trying to trade for Baker Mayfield, but I told you Cleveland wouldn't budge off that pick. He hit me up and was just like, you see, we probably would have made the playoffs this year and I was like, probably, because they've got great receivers down there in Tampa Bay. I don't know who their running back is.
It's fuck's his name?
I forget. But
you got Evans, you got Mike Evans, you got Godwin down there.
It's Rashad White and Chase Edmonds.
Oh, okay.
I think they have the 31st ranked rushing attack.
It's not great. Yeah.
It's not great, but he's got great wide receivers. So look, I'm looking at the over in this game at 48.5, and that I love. I think they probably hit that. And as far as Detroit goes, do you believe in Detroit? Like, this game to me should be a pick 'em.
I mean, I believe that Montgomery is having a good year. Not great, right? Like, he's a 1,000-yard rusher, but in 17.
He had a lot of carries.
In a 17-game season with a lot of carries, which is what he did when he was in fucking Chicago too, right?
Yeah.
He's a grinder.
He's good.
So it helps.
He's good.
It helps to be able to control the clock and stuff like that. Amon-Ra St. Brown looked great in week 1.
He won the first round of every fantasy football draft this year.
Yeah, he is a fucking elite receiver.
He was the second wide receiver taken in all of my fantasy leagues this year, right behind Justin Jefferson.
Yeah. And then, the Lions defense has the same issues that a lot of teams do, the Eagles included, the Eagles and Cowboys. Like, for the Cowboys, their secondary makes a lot of big plays, but they give up a lot of big plays too, right? We saw that in week 1. The Lions secondary, they've got some good players back there, but they make some big plays from time to time, but they are susceptible to that deep ball. And when you've got Godwin and fucking Evans going down there, man. 2 big bodies. Like anything can happen in this game.
And I feel like this game, because the Buccaneers defense isn't as good as the Rams.
No.
This could be a fucking shootout all day long. It's going to be a fun game to watch.
Yeah, I think I might take
sure.
the over in this one. It's 48.5.
I am, and that's where I live with this. I to be honest with you, man, I think it's a coin toss as far as who wins this game. I could
if you think that, you should take Bucks plus 6.5.
I am, and that's what I'm going to do because I think this is going to come down to a field goal. I really do, and potentially the Bucks even winning. Just because I really don't believe in the Lions. I think they're frauds.
Yeah.
So I'm taking the over.
What you can't fault Baker on either is like that motherfucker plays hard every single down.
He does.
With his fucking with his broken rib hanging out. He doesn't give a shit.
Very similar to that Will Howard kid in that game that I watched last year. He's a gamer. I personally just don't like I just don't think he's going to be a great NFL quarterback who's ever going to win a Super Bowl or anything. But I'm going to take the Buccaneers in this one, and I think this is a 3-point game, and I'm taking the over.
So you're saying he's going to be like most NFL quarterbacks?
Yeah, the vast majority. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's not just competent. He's probably a little bit above average, but that's not good enough to be a perennial contender.
Like in Alex Smith,
there's like 6 good quarterbacks in the NFL.
15 years,
or 6 great. There's 6 great quarterbacks in the NFL at any given time.
Greatest quarterbacks barely broke 1. Aaron Rodgers, fucking Brett Favre, both had 1.
Well, Aaron Rodgers
Marino had 0.
Rodgers going to win next year. So
no, he's not.
The Jets?
No. I don't know that he's going to be healthy.
He's going to be a Viking.
I don't know if he's going to be healthy. Yeah.
No, it doesn't.
He's got to go to Minnesota to win one.
Yeah.
But
Well, they didn't win either.
No, but they don't have a quarterback. So I will see on his health. But either way, fun game to watch. And I'm in on this. Baker Mayfield certainly playing with a chip on his shoulder. And does he get the big contract?
Yeah, probably because
from Tampa,
they're not going to have a good enough draft position to take one of the guys that matter. Mm-hmm. So you're better off paying him, to be honest.
If you can get him at a 25 range.
22, 25, probably, yeah.
Have fun, but I don't want him on my team. But I agree with you. How do you draft a guy who's going to get you to play, especially if he wins another one?
Yeah.
Holy shit. He just passed Tim Tebow for playoff wins here.
Yeah, he's been past fucking Lamar Jackson. So, and Dak Prescott.
I also said Lamar.
Dak's 2-6 in the fucking playoffs.
I know.
Fucking Tony Romo with himself.
Again, fun games, and then obviously they saved the best for last. I called this a week ago. I said if this matchup somehow happens, they're going to put this on the primetime game. Taylor Swift is going to be there. Jason Kelsey is now going to be there as well. Haley Steinfeld's going to be there for the Bills.
Who's that?
That is the girlfriend of Josh Allen. Pull up a picture.
Yeah, you've seen her and stuff.
Beautiful little
She
young
was in the
lady.
remake of True Grit.
She was. She's very good in that
I haven't
movie.
seen that.
Very good in that movie.
It's a good movie.
Yeah. And I believe they're friends in real life, right? Her and Taylor Swift.
She was in one of her music videos.
Yeah.
She does look kind of familiar.
She's in a bunch of stuff.
She's
She was
great.
In, Pitch Perfect 2.
Definitely not seen that.
Great movie.
Yeah.
She's a singer, too.
Yeah, she's good. She's good. So the cutaways in this game will probably be more than the field. And even if it's a game-winning touchdown, NBC or whoever's carrying this game, CBS, will probably be on Taylor Swift during that moment anyways. But this spread is exactly where it should be. Bills -3. It's going to be about 20 degrees in Buffalo Sunday night. Who you got?
Chiefs, easy. Chiefs, not even +3. Chiefs money line. They're definitely going to win this game.
Really?
Yeah. Their defense is fucking way better than the Bills.
It is.
And everything else is pretty much a wash. As long as Rice can catch the ball in cold weather and Kelsey doesn't perform like a fucking twat like he did last week, they're going to win this game by 7-10.
How long can a team just get away with being mediocre?
They're not mediocre. They have the best
Chiefs.
player in the world.
I know they do, but the rest of this squad is...
They have the best player in the world, and they have the best tight end in the world as well, right? It's like Jordan Pippen.
He just hasn't played like that
Like
all
you look at
year.
You look at the rest of the team, and it's Horace Grant and Steve Kerr, and you're like, these guys can't win. They're like, okay, well, they got Jordan Pippen, right? So there's always a chance. And that defense is fucking great.
I'm gonna go off a heart on this one here. And I'm going to take Bills -2.5 because selfishly, out of all the teams that are left, I would love to see the Bills win the Super Bowl and their fans outside in Vegas throwing each other through tables and just terrorizing every fucking casino on the Strip. I think it'd be my dream matchup out of all of this, by the way, would be Bills-Lions. I think it would be hilarious.
That would be really
awesome.
funny. That would be the least watched Super Bowl in the history of the world.
I don't think so because you've got fans who would fight each other and probably go to jail in the game itself.
I would not watch that game.
You're kidding.
Why would I? The fucking
Bills,
Lions? The Lions are
Lions?
terrible. I'm not watching that shit.
They're not terrible.
They're not
Yeah,
terrible.
they are
They're
not-
fun to watch.
No.
I don't think they can win a Super Bowl, but they're fun to watch.
I don't give a fuck about them, the history of their franchise, or any of that stuff. There's nothing compelling about the Lions other than the fact that
Campbell?
they just
Dan Campbell.
they just booed one of the best players in the history of their organization that they traded away.
But because they're trash.
no, they're
though.
cunts. Yeah, I'm not fucking doing
It's
that.
trash, and I want to see trash on trash, and I want to see trash, dude.
You have fun with
Who's
that.
your dream matchup here out of the remaining guys?
Out of this year,
Yeah.
Packers Texans, obviously the two rookie quarterbacks would be the best for me.
Really?
Yeah. That would be fun to watch. I mean, it's a compelling matchup. Or Ravens 49ers, I think, because they match up well. But that would be, I would only agree to that or agree that would be my favorite if Lamar Jackson demonstrated some kind of competence in the playoffs. If he comes out here, blows the Texans away,
Yep.
that will be my dream matchup is Ravens-Niners because
Okay.
they're the two best teams, right?
They are.
That's what I want to
Currently,
see.
yeah. Me personally, though, if it isn't those guys, give me 49ers, Chiefs, and I want to see Shanahan blow another fourth quarter lead because I don't want him to ever win a Super Bowl after what he did to me down in Atlanta at 28-3.
You want Kansas City to win?
I sure
Super
do.
Bowl?
I sure do. Pat Mahomes, I
Gross.
love dominance, dude. I
Dude,
love
they
it.
s-
Yeah, I
they're
would like him
such-
to get another ring.
I love
right?
it.
Yeah.
Why?
I think he's the most
Why?
gifted.
Because he's the best, man.
He's the most gifted quarterback I've ever
Like,
seen
did
in my
you-
entire
did-
life.
He's a
you-
little bitch.
But
That's true to some degree.
It
yes.
is.
But did you root against?
so is Steph Curry.
Did you root against like fucking Jordan in the second three-peat? You were probably
Yes.
kind of paying attention
did?
then.
Yes, they're in the Eastern Conference. Of course, I'm going to root against Jordan.
All right.
But the
'Cause of
Sixers,
Iverson and
the
those
Sixers
guys?
weren't really relevant then. No,
They
Iverson
weren't.
didn't come until later in the
Yeah,
90s.
he didn't come until late 90s.
90
Crossed
98,
over Jordan
99.
though.
He did, but they never won. I want
Yeah,
to see
but he
dominance.
was-
I think
Like Iverson, if anybody has been the most valuable player on their team in any sport ever,
Oh, fuck yeah.
it was him. He
Yeah.
dragged them. Like LeBron certainly dragged some mid Cleveland teams to the finals for sure, but nobody drug a worse team to the finals than Iverson.
I think their
in my
second
opinion.
best player was Mutombo.
Yeah, Dikembe Mutombo.
man fly in the house.
Who, by the way, I believe was like 36 at the
Oh,
time.
old
Years
as
older.
fuck.
Yeah.
oh, probably older. I bet you his birthday was scratched on a piece of fucking bark on a tree
Yeah,
somewhere.
literally, like they got one of those Halloween skeletons to guard prime
Yep.
Shaq.
That's not true though. He won Defensive Player of the Year that year.
He's great. I'm not saying he's not great, but he was probably 54 at the time.
Do you know
We
why?
Just didn't know.
It was all stats though. It's all stat padding, like fucking weak side blocks from Dikembe Mutombo.
and great commercials.
Yeah, he wasn't fucking posting up Shaq. Come on, man.
Aaron McKee was Sixth Man of the Year. Larry
Gross.
Brown was Coach of the Year.
Gross.
Larry Brown's a great coach. Can't say anything
He is.
bad about
He's always
him.
been a great coach. But yeah, I think Mahomes is the most gifted quarterback I've seen in our lifetime, and he's a blast. He's a blast to watch. I just want to see the best, even though if they're not my team. I
don't.
want to see the best.
I don't care.
I know you don't.
I don't
Delco,
care
but
about
like,
other people's legacy.
I
Fuck
know
'em.
you don't. Like we all know that. That has been abundantly clear forever. With
Just
you.
a hater.
I get it.
Just a fucking
Not a hater. I just want to see something new. I like new shiny objects. I would love to see like the Bills and the Lions.
So would I.
Ugh, gross.
So would I. Like that would be the dream matchup, right? If we're not going to get this. but
I'm
picking the Bills this Sunday for
I would-
Christ's sakes. -2.5.
I would agree to that if the Bills lost again. Their 5th consecutive Super Bowl loss. That would be funny.
Oh, if they went and lost
Yeah.
to the Lions?
So they lost 4 in a row.
They did.
You're just a hater against Josh Allen.
I think Josh Allen is a
he
fucking
thinks a
loser,
loser.
right?
But he's not though.
That's
find
what
out
I
on
think.
Sunday.
Yeah, prove me wrong. And I just said that it's not hate. I just said the same thing about Lamar Jackson. I want to see him in that game, but right now I think he's a fucking loser.
Yeah.
So if he proves me wrong, then that's who I'm going to be rooting for.
And if Josh Allen loses this on Sunday at home, everybody's going to call him a fucking loser.
Although I'm also kind of rooting for Brock Purdy, like being Mr. Irrelevant, all the hate you've given him over the
I hate
years.
him. I hate him.
He's if Baker is a competent, slightly above average quarterback, he's well beyond what Baker is capable of.
If I was forced to take Baker or Purdy on the Falcons, I would take Baker Mayfield.
That's a fucking dumb decision.
Sorry. Sorry about it.
Around. This is one of the stages, and then eventually you're like, no, I want Baker Mayfield.
If Jim Harbaugh coaches our fucking team, by the way,
and he brings in Baker Mayfield.
No. Just Harbaugh. If Harbaugh, I've already lost this bet. I'm wearing a fucking Baker Mayfield jersey the rest of the goddamn playoffs. But if Harbaugh ends up coaching the Falcons, I am switching. I am going to be a true bandwagon fan, and I'm switching all of my allegiance to Pat Mahomes and the Chiefs for the next 10, 12 years. I will not do it. I will not watch one fucking Falcons game with Jim Harbaugh.
The bottom's going to fall out of the Chiefs organization for salary cap reasons sometime soon. So I don't know if I'd do that. They're going the way of the Warriors if they don't fucking be careful.
Chiefs are bad people.
Yeah.
They're just bad people.
No, they're fucking. They were on this land and we killed them.
The Mahomes are bad.
Oh, he's not talking about Indians, dumbass.
It seems like you are right now. That's even real personal.
No, he's talking about the Kansas City Chiefs.
They're throwing Sacagawea under the bus.
The Mahomes are bad people. They just are.
I think you're probably right about that.
Well, I mean, one is on video sexually assaulting a woman.
The brother.
Yeah.
And then the father had his own thing, and Brittany's got her own thing. Look, he's a child of his circumstances. What are you going to do there?
All of Andy Reid's kids, not great.
Yeah, well, the one's in prison right now.
Yeah,
for murder, right?
I don't think murder.
He drove into a car and fucking.
I thought like maybe somebody at Waffle House got his order wrong.
No, that would be Andy. Obviously.
Yeah, well, nobody would ever get Andy's order. There's no wrong order for him.
No,
you just bring him a pile and he'll eat it. You know.
By the way, those commercials are getting better and better for Andy Reid. So I'm a fan. Look, bet with us or against us on MyBookie.com. If you're taking my picks from last week, bet against all of them this week. Who the fuck knows? Join us live here on Patreon and Drinkin Bros Podcast Patreon in about 5 minutes over there. We'll be live for the Wednesday show coming up. Great matchups across the board this weekend. I'm sucked in. The Super Bowl I don't want to see, by the way. Oof. Could you imagine Buccaneers versus Ravens?
Just no, I can't.
I can't either.
As soon as you said Buccaneers, no.
I know. I'm out.
It's not happening.
No, I'm checked out. Can't do it. But they might win this weekend. So we'll see.
Won't. They're not going to.
We'll
Lions
see.
are going to run them out of the building.
We'll see. I hope so, but we'll see. Thanks for tuning in, kids. Go to iTunes, rate the show 5-star, and leave a quick review. Also, head on over to Spotify. It's just a 5-star, and you can walk away at this point. Shorter show this week, kids, because we only got 4 games. Next week, we'll still do a show, even though there's 2 games. But we'll be with you, and I'm sure I'll be crying about these picks on Monday on the Monday Morning Recap. For D'Anthony Holloway, I'm Ross Patterson. This is the NFL Division Round Pick'em Show. Good night, everybody.